Hi, you guys. Hold on. It is super dark in here. There we go. I'm like, what is going on, you guys? Welcome. Happy Sunday, you guys. Happy Sunday. Not Sunday, Saturday, you guys. Happy Saturday. Let me get my thoughts together. Happy Saturday. Happy September 6th. I feel like it's so dark. Let's see if we can get some light going on in here. Let me know if you can hear me and see me clearly for everybody who's coming in here. Greetings, Scotty. Let me know if you can hear me, see me, tell me where you're from. Let me know where you are from. I like to know where everybody's from. Yes, and yes, y'all can hear me and see me clearly. Good. I came back, you guys. Last week was so good. 3 days in a row. We talked foreclosures, REOs, bank owned auctions, so much. You guys, New York City, Eloise from Atlanta, Detroit, Michigan. You guys, welcome. People are starting to get the alert that I am live. So we'll let people come in. We got about 2 minutes. We usually get started at 7 o'clock. Mississippi living in Dallas, Mississippi. Oh, two Mississippi's living. No, Scotty's Mississippi living in Dallas. Melanie is Mississippi. Got it. Got it. Got it. Welcome, you guys. It is Saturday, the first full week, basically, of September. Hopefully, y'all have been busy. We had a big auction week last week, first Tuesday of the month. We can check out some of those, maybe. Jacqueline from Maryland and can see clearly. You can see clearly now. The rain is gone in Maryland. When y'all name cities, I'm always like, Maryland's number 3 on the foreclosure list. I don't know if you knew that. Maryland is number 3. We've got LA, Hollywood, California. That means y'all just woke up eating breakfast on the West Coast. I know the sun is just coming up on the West Coast. So good morning to Zandria and who else did I see? Cedric. From what I understand, agent in Georgia can make an offer on a home anywhere in Georgia remotely. Is that correct? If they're licensed, they have to be licensed. But yeah, they should be able to make an offer on a property. Yeah, as long as they're licensed in that state. Yes. Yes. Michael, to answer that question, yes, they got to be licensed in Georgia. Yes. Boom. That is, yes. I had to think about your question, but yes. It is 7 o'clock on the dot. You guys, welcome, welcome. Let me do my introduction real quick. Welcome, you guys. I'm Ashley Pickens here in Memphis, Tennessee. I've been in real estate since 2006 as a real estate agent, also as a real estate broker. I became an auctioneer about 8 years ago, and I auction off foreclosures at the courthouse. Y'all know I don't know where to look, if I'm supposed to look here or if I'm supposed to look at the camera. So if you see me looking up and down, it's because I don't know where to look. Okay, so just bear with me. But I auction off foreclosures. I'm the one that says going once, going twice, sold at the courthouse. So here in Memphis, all the way to like Nashville and parts of Mississippi. So that is what I do. I try to come on here and share with you all a little bit about foreclosures, the market. I specifically work on the distressed market, right? I specifically work with distressed homeowners. That's pre-foreclosure, short sales, bankruptcy, heirship properties. That is my lane, right? And I mostly work with investors. That is what I do. That is my lane. Anybody, we got any Georgia real estate agents in here? Georgia real estate agents. I know a couple Georgia agents. What's your opinion on assumable mortgage? I just saw a home today that offers it. I think, a lot of times assumable mortgage, not a lot of times, assumable mortgage is where you can take over that loan because you do it because they have a good interest rate, right? If they've got like a 2 or 3, you have to get qualified. You have to get qualified, I believe, through their bank, who they got approved through. But I mean, if they got a good interest rate and the price is right and, yeah, I say it's a, the good, if you can get a low interest rate and you really like that house, you know what I mean? I get Ashley on a Saturday along with college football. It doesn't, that's what I'm talking about. Me and football, boom. So 2.5% is their rate. So if you assume the loan, you took over their loan, you would get their rate 2.5 and probably the terms of their loan. So yeah, nothing's wrong with it. It's legit. You go through the bank, boom. So yeah, you just have to go through their loan. I think you have to go through their bank, their approval process. You know what I mean? Get approved through their bank to take over their loan. But boom. So I just come on here, kind of talk to y'all about foreclosures because that's my jam, REOs, things like that. Um, and what else? I try to do master classes. I see y'all want a master class for bank-owned properties, financing. What else did y'all tell me? Maybe a little bit of pre-foreclosures. Y'all didn't really say anything about auctions, but as soon as I start teaching a master class, everybody has questions about the auction. I'm on to y'all. I'm on to y'all. So, oh, you're the seller. I'm an escrow in California. My loan is assumable at 2.6. Yeah, I am. Okay. So, yeah, people can assume your loan. They just have to go through your bank and get approved, and they'll take over your payment or, your interest rate and all that kind of stuff. It helps, because what are interest rates? I think they've gone down a little bit to 6 point. I don't know what interest rates are now, 6.5. I'm not sure. But yeah, and they can get your 2.6. So that's what we're on here today. Let's see, what are we going to talk about? How many of y'all, is this your first time joining me? Let me know if this is your first time joining me or if y'all were with me last week. Y'all, the new mentorship starts on Wednesday. We just wrapped up our last mentorship last Thursday. So good, so good, so good. And we start our new one on this Wednesday, September 10th. We go for 6 weeks. We go for a lifetime. Honestly, once you're in the mentorship, then you are in it forever. So we start again on Wednesday. If any of y'all want to jump into that, I start my REO certification week after next. So I'm so excited about that. And I'll take y'all along on that journey with me. Welcome, Jilma Bryson. Your first time. We're happy to have you. Third time stopping by. Yes, I know. Once you come, you just can't leave. You come and you just can't leave. It's like a bag of chips. You just can't eat one chip. You just got to keep eating the whole bag. I know y'all are like, really, Ashley? Let's talk about, do we need to go over foreclosure numbers again? I know. Let's go, REO. We rhyming tonight. I know. So I'm excited about that and all the things that will come with that. And I'll try to share that journey with you all in case you're interested over there. The goal is just to take over. We're going to take over, right? So let's do a recap. Let's hope the Wi-Fi is strong tonight and we don't have any problems. Let's do a recap of foreclosure numbers so y'all can see where the foreclosures are rising, where they are, cities and states. And then we can maybe look at auctions, what happened last week. Y'all, guess what? Get this, you guys. I had an auction last week. It sold. My friend in Austin, in the Austin area, she auctions. She had 45 auctions last week, y'all. 45. 45 in the Austin area. Only one of them sold because all of them were just purchased in like 2022, 2023. Y'all, these people just bought in the last couple years and are losing their house. And if you don't understand that, it's because the opening bid, I've said this before, the opening bid is the loan balance, right? The opening bid at the auction is the loan balance on that property, right? So if you just bought in the last 2 or 3 years, you owe that whole loan, right? So when it goes up for auction, ain't nobody pays the full price at auction. When you come to auction, you want a discount, right? You want a discount. So they all, out of all 45, only one of them sold. We have another friend in, where is she? I think she's in the Dallas area. She had 55 auctions ago. None of them sold. None of them sold at auction. Out of 55 properties, none of them sold. The opening bid was just too high. And so that's how we know REOs are about to be insane. Because the banks got to do something. You know what I mean? The banks, that's how banks go under. That's how banks collapse, when they have all these outstanding loans that aren't being paid. You know what I mean? So she had 45, only one sold. Another auctioneer had 55, none of them sold. So, and when they don't sell, everybody, what happens? Properties that don't sell at auction and revert back to the bank, we call those what, class? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat because you know where it's at. What do we call those properties? Thank you. We call them, I see y'all typing in there, REO properties, right? REO. If it doesn't sell at auction and goes back to the bank, it is an REO property. And that's what I was going to kind of look at if the screen will work with us tonight, you guys. We're going to say a prayer. First, let's look at day. Did y'all see the employment? The job report came in real low. Shocker. Nobody shocked. But REO, y'all do listen to me. Y'all do listen to me. Can y'all see my screen? Blink if you can see my screen. Blink if you can see my screen, you guys. Look who's first. Shout out to Daily Job Cuts for always representing me. Look at Daily Job Cuts. Y'all blink. Okay, cool. Y'all are blinking. Shout out to Job Cuts. We like to see what's going on with jobs, right? I heard the job report came in very low. Less than the first sign of her. What was it? They said we created 22,000 new jobs when they thought it was going to be, 75,000? I knew people weren't getting jobs. All you got to do was look around and talk to your friends and watch TikTok and see how many people getting laid off. I have yet to see a video of somebody being like, I got a job this week. Every video I see is, I just got laid off. My whole department got laid off. That's all I'm seeing. Well, maybe it might be people who are getting jobs. Maybe they scared to post that they got a job, But let's see. I was going to see what's going on. I'm first on the list. Ow! Let's see. So if you're not familiar with Daily Job Cuts, you guys, this side of the screen shows companies that are laying off. This side shows bankruptcies and closings of companies, right? So I kind of go in here, see who closing, see who laying off, and see who's filing bankruptcy and see what businesses are shutting down. So just a little thing to look at. But look who's first. Yay! Thanks. Shout out to Daily Job Cuts if you're watching. Blink. That's a different thing. Blink. Okay. So let's talk about, if you're new here, you're always included. No student left behind. No student left behind. Top 10 vulnerable U.S. housing markets. That's not what we want to look at. We want to look at foreclosures. And we'll do this really quickly because I did it last week, but I just want to refresh everybody's memory. This is like a college course. This is like Foreclosures 101, right? So we're going to do a refresher. Y'all better be glad we don't have like pop quizzes and stuff in here. In the mentorship, I give pop quizzes to make sure y'all know what they're doing. So really quickly, you guys, raise your hand if I call your city or your state out. Don't worry, I'll read it for us just really quickly. But if y'all were present, I would make one of y'all read this. So stop popping up, little pop-up box. Okay, so right now we have 36,128 U.S. properties with foreclosure filings. Like I've said before, foreclosure is in 3 phases, right? The first phase is that default notice is filed once that homeowner gets behind on their mortgage. The second phase, the auction is scheduled. Cue your auction mama. And then the third and final phase is the bank repossesses the property, also known as REO property. So we have about 36,128 properties in somewhere in the foreclosure process for the month of July. We should get some new numbers this week. The latest foreclosure report usually comes out on the 12th. Is the 12th this week or is the 12th next week? The 12th is Friday. So maybe we'll get some numbers on Thursday or Friday and see what happened in August. So let's see. States with the worst foreclosure rates. Nevada. Oh, Nevada. They told me I say it wrong. Nevada, not Nevada. Nevada, Florida, Maryland. There you are, Maryland. I told you. South Carolina and Illinois, right? If we had to pinpoint some cities, we have Bakersville, California, Cape Coral, Florida, Lakeland, Florida. Shout out to Florida, right? And Columbia, South Carolina, and Deltona, Florida. So we got Cape Coral, Lakeland, and Deltona. And if we had to pinpoint some bigger cities, we know number 1 has been on the list is Houston, Texas. They are at the top of every single list. They got a lot of properties going to auction, but they got a lot of properties that are not selling at auction and going back to the bank. Like I said, if you're a real estate agent, I would strongly suggest you learn how to short sale and how to work REOs. That's just my suggestion. You don't have to listen to me. But your auction mama would never steer you wrong. Also, Jacksonville, Florida with Houston, Las Vegas, Nevada, Riverside, California, and Cleveland, Ohio. If I call your name, you can just raise your hand or blink. I see Esther with the hand up. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody who know how to follow directions. Let's talk about the greatest number of foreclosure starts. That's the first process of the foreclosure phases, right? Homeowner gets behind and they get that notice of default saying you are in foreclosure, Mrs. Johnson, and you either need to catch up your past due balance or your house is going up for auction. So the notice of default is filed. Lender started the foreclosure process on 24,302 U.S. properties, up 12% from last month and 11% from a year ago. States that had the highest amount of starts: Texas had 3,600 starts in 1 month. Florida, 2,891. California had 2,830. Illinois had 1,177. And Ohio had 1,029. Let's talk about some cities with the most new foreclosure starts. Y'all still with me? You don't have to check in every once in a while. Riverside, got your hand up? I see you, Riverside. Okay, look at you. I see you on the West Coast, all y'all over there. Number one, Houston, Texas. Again, Texas, Dallas, Austin, buckle up. That's what I will say. Buckle up. If you're an agent and you need some work, you better start working the distressed market in Texas for sure. Houston, Texas, 1,406. Chicago had 1,117. That's my birth city, y'all. I know you can't tell because I'm so country, but I was born in Chicago once upon a time. New York City had 1,003. Miami, Florida had 920. And Dallas, Texas had 751. And the third and final phase, did I get any hands? Did I call anybody city? I lived in the same property for 21 years in San Diego. That's what I'm talking about. Lost soul. Yeah, Nevada is, look, I said, yeah, I'm trying to read Jermon's. Yeah, Nevada is burnt toast. The high-end homes market is very bad. Lots of pre-foreclosures are popping up. Yeah, we got a lady who just joined the mentorship. She's